Rashid was a young man in his early 20s. He lived in a small rented house with his parents and two younger sisters. His father worked long hours as a daily wage laborer, and his mother stitched clothes at home to earn a little extra money. Rashid had finished his studies but had no job. Every morning he woke up late and sat outside the house with his phone in his hand. He spent hours scrolling, watching videos, and complaining about life. He complained about money. He complained about the government. He complained about his luck. "If we were rich, my life would be better," he often said. "If I had connections, I would already have a good job." His mother listened quietly. His father stayed silent. But inside, both felt heavy with worry. Days turned into weeks. Weeks turned into months. Still, nothing changed. Instead of learning new skills, he spent his time blaming others. One evening, his father returned home looking extremely tired. His clothes were dusty, and his hands were shaking slightly from exhaustion. Rashid looked at him and said, "This life is useless. We work so hard, but nothing improves. What is the point of trying?" His father did not reply at first. After a long silence, he spoke in a calm but heavy voice. Complaining never built a house. Complaining never fed a family. Rashid felt annoyed. He looked away. But that night, something happened that shook him deeply. At midnight, Rashid woke up to the sound of coughing. He walked into the next room and saw his father sitting on the floor, holding his chest. His breathing was fast and weak. His mother looked frightened. "We need to take him to the hospital," she whispered. They rushed him to a small clinic. The doctor checked his father and said he was suffering from severe exhaustion and stress. He needed rest. He needed support. Rashid stood silently in the corner. For the first time, he noticed the deep lines on his father's face. The hands that once looked strong now seemed fragile. That night, Rashid could not sleep. His father's words echoed in his mind. Complaining never built a house. He began to think about his own life. All those hours wasted, all those excuses, all those complaints. He realized something painful. While his father worked until his body broke, Rashid had been sitting and blaming the world. The next morning felt different. For the first time in months, Rashid woke up early. The sun had just risen. He sat alone and made a silent promise to himself. No more complaining. It was not easy, but he started small. He searched for job openings every day. He began learning basic computer skills from free videos. Some days were frustrating. Some days he felt tired and hopeless. But whenever he felt like complaining, he remembered his father's weak face at the hospital. Slowly, things began to change. After several weeks of effort, he found part-time work at a small shop. The pay was low, but he accepted it without hesitation. He worked honestly. He learned quickly. He stayed quiet and focused. Months later, the shop owner noticed his dedication and gave him more responsibility. Rashid saved money and continued improving his skills. Life was still simple. Money was still limited. But the constant anger and bitterness inside him had started to fade. One evening, he returned home with his first full salary. He placed the money gently into his father's hands. His father looked surprised. Rashid lowered his head and said softly, "I wasted too much time complaining. I am sorry." His father smiled faintly. It was a tired smile, but full of pride. That night, Rashid sat alone outside his house, looking at the sky. He finally understood a truth that many people ignore. Complaining feels easy, working feels hard, but only work changes life. Because in the end, life does not change when you complain. Life changes when you decide to act.